Welcome to Crown Level Confidence with Caliah Jinaye, the podcast where we empower and inspire you to achieve unstoppable confidence and self-belief. I'm your host, Caliah Jinaye, a wife, mom, entrepreneur, as well as a certified life coach and motivational speaker with a background in humanities and communication. I'm excited to navigate this transformative journey with you. In each episode, I'll bring you candid conversations, practical tips, and inspiring stories from remarkable women who have conquered many challenges and risen to new heights. Get ready to have your crown straightened as we listen, learn, and laugh together so we can level up. Let's dive in. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this newest episode of Crown Level Confidence podcast. I am your host, Caliah Jinaye, and we are leading women worldwide to lower their stress and raise their levels of confidence. And y'all, listen, in nothing short of any of the other episodes we have had in the past, I have a phenomenal woman that I want to share with y'all. And but our newest guest today is Brittany Cates. Brittany, say hey.
Hi.
Brittany. So she's a new connection that I'm so excited to get to know and have this conversation with. And I want to introduce y'all to her and let you know a little bit about her. So listen to this, okay? Brittany Cates, a former teacher turned UX designer, discovered her passion for creativity early in her teaching career. After several attempts to leave the profession, she finally found her dream job through career coaching and mindset work. We love that. Now, Brittany helps women facing similar challenges by guiding them to reshape limiting beliefs and achieve their career goals through one-on-one coaching. In her spare time, she enjoys Netflix, spending time with loved ones, and traveling. Girl, yes, you are a sister from another mister. Let me get closer. All the things. So, Brittany, we're so glad to have you here with us. I say we, all the listeners, again, worldwide podcast here. So, Brittany, if you can kind of bring us in to your story of changing careers and how does that boost your confidence?
Yeah, growing up, I thought I knew what I wanted to do. Like in high school, I was like, oh, I'm gonna be a graphic designer. Like I love art, blah, blah, blah. And then as I entered into adulthood, I guess, and having more experiences, that imposter syndrome creeped in. And I made the switch of my major to teaching. And shortly thereafter, once I got in the classroom, realized I can't do this forever. Like this isn't it, And so it's really interesting to reflect on how I've really come full circle, because now I am working as a UX designer, which is kind of similar to graphic design. It's more like web-based, and so it's interactive design. Whereas graphic design is like static design, but it's like I did a complete 360 and to consider it, to think about it, I have had moments where I could be sad or frustrated that it took me how many years, to get from, where I once was and back there again. And yet I've also had the time and the foresight to be grateful for the experiences that I've had that have led me back to what I really knew was my true passion and calling. But, let life and the world kind of make me doubt myself, my inner knowing.
Yeah.
So,
You said something, first of all, I love all of it. But something that stuck out to me that I'm not sure if anyone else would catch on to is a little hint of gratitude I'm hearing, right? You're like, yes, I could choose to look at it one way. I could say, oh my gosh, why did it take me so long? And, oh, I'm just now finally here. But it's the gratitude of even having arrived, right? First of all, it could have been worse. It could have been longer, right? And secondly, not to discount the journey, right? Excuse me, right? Because who knew you could have, experienced the opportunity to change careers earlier on, but maybe not had the right appreciation for it as you do now, right? So even just having that gratitude to realize, okay, this is my story. This is my journey. I I cannot properly attribute this quote. I did not make it up. Okay. But it's something that stuck with me since college was life is lived forward and understood backwards.
Mm.
Right. So you just, even like I said, that hint of gratitude being like, well, I'm still happy I even got to this place is huge. And I think a lot of people overlook that opportunity to be grateful. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's definitely a challenge because we don't naturally do that, right? Like our brains naturally focus on the negative. And it's definitely cultivating a mindset and a perspective that, okay, wait, I'm going to take a step back and really like pay attention to how far have I come and
Mm-hmm.
how did I get myself here, and having gratitude for that person that you were, that
Right.
got you, that took the actions along the way to get you where you are today, and having an appreciation and a gratitude for her,
Mm-hmm.
and not, instead of looking back and, saying, why did you do that?
Mm-hmm.
So,
And I mean, clearly, you're a mindset professional, right? So you've got the leg up. I'm a mindset professional. So we understand some things, right, about how our minds work and they affect us. And, but, personally, right, can you kind of shed some light on the things that you did, kind of like talking about yourself, as a professional, but, woman to woman, some of the minds, girl, mindset shifts, okay, or changes that helped you, to make this progress, ultimately reducing your stress and raising your confidence, I'm sure. But basically, all of this to say, what was the work?
yeah, yeah. I mean, I would definitely say, in order to even get to a point where you're ready to work, it's like, okay, my stress level is too much for me. I'm not handling it very well. It's affecting all these other things in my life. And I know that I want, better. I want to feel better than this, And I think that first step for me started with like going to therapy and getting counseling from somebody that can give me an outsider's perspective and help me to start seeing things differently. And as I started working with a professional in that capacity, it really helped me to start branching out and finding other things. So, another thing that I ended up doing was I started taking yoga classes, which for years I was like, I want to do that. Like, I think that would totally help my stress level, like as a teacher. And it just like, it was a door that opened up my mind to other avenues of self-care and holistic health. And, um, that really kind of led me on a new journey of trying to learn new things and understand the world in a different way than maybe I had before. So those were
Mm-hmm.
some starting off points for me for sure. Um,
Yeah. No, it's important. And I'm glad you shared that because a lot of times we can get stuck in a trap of like, I want more or I want different, but I only have the habits I currently have. I'm only stretched to the limits that I've currently, set or lived by. And so, you expand your horizons, expand your life, but it's just kind of like you have to be willing to take those steps to figure out what you don't know or just to learn more in a curious way. It doesn't have to be so regimented. I'm not saying you need to go, disappear, go to a convent or, whatever. But if you need to do those things, that's, okay. But I think sometimes we overcomplicate things, right? And we get stuck in traps of like, I don't know what change looks like or what I would do to change. So I'm not going to do it at all. And it's like,
yeah,
no, you can start small. You can do little things that add up, right?
absolutely. Yeah.
So kind of you're, I would kind of put you in this expert of career management, right? And so I'm sure there are plenty of women listening right now who are in a similar situation that you used to be. You're like, man, I've been doing this career. I went to school for this, or I thought this is what I wanted to do. And it's not happening for me. I'm living my life. I want to make a change in careers. I'm not satisfied. I'm not fulfilled, or, it's great, but I know there's something else, but I'm just not sure.
Yeah.
You know, as far as confidence issues for the women who want to change their careers, what are you seeing, right? Can you speak to those women who, like I said, they want to change careers, they're not sure how would you help them?
I think there's like a twofold to that question. I think the first is, oh, I don't really know what else I would do. I've been doing this for however long. And um, I think it starts with taking time to self-reflect and be with yourself outside of all the things that you have going on, and being able to just remind yourself who you are and what you love and what you value. And once you start kind of noticing those things more, um, and tapping into them once again, when if you haven't in a while, you're really going to uncover like, okay, I love doing this. I love spending my time here. And it will help bring ideas to your mind of like, oh, back in college, I really loved this one class that I took, and I haven't really done anything with that since. Like, let me explore that again, and just kind of like opening yourself up to more things that you enjoy, and that's going to help you better make a decision of, okay, what's next for me. And then
Mhm.
the other piece, like the how piece, um I really think it starts with like community,
Mm.
and um, sharing with a trusted support system what it is that you're trying to do and accomplish. And um, I think one valuable like exercise is to reach out to like five trusted friends and family members and say, what is it that you like? What are the top five words that describe me in your eyes, right? And that list of words is going to also help you, like, oh, they think I'm good at that, or, and so by sharing what you're trying to do, right, what you're trying to accomplish, it's going to help build your confidence, because other people are going to share what they see in you and support you and love you and help you through it, especially when the challenges arise.
Yeah. Brittany, wow. I'm going to be honest with you, girl, that sounds like some risky business.
Asking what five words people think of you.
Ooh, brace yourselves, ladies. Brittany didn't say this, but I'm going to tell you to have some discernment on who you choose to ask, okay?
Absolutely. Trusted, you feel safe.
Don't go posting on X. I mean, what do y'all think of me? Don't do that.
No, no, no,
She said
no.
you find you find some high quality individuals, okay, that you're equally invested with, that will help you improve your journey, not tear you back down. Okay.
No, no.
Let me just be specific and be very clear. But it's all gold, right? Those are very good things. And it's so funny because a lot of times self-awareness, I mean, it has the element of being mindful of your perception to others, right? Like that's kind of the basis, really. And so when you think about it, you need those buy-ins or those check-ins. And sometimes you would be surprised, and Brittany, please chime in if you agree or if you don't, but you'd be surprised if you start the conversation, someone might be wanting to tell you something that you need to know about yourself, but they're not sure if you want to receive it or how you'd receive it. And it could be some constructive feedback that you might need to implement. But again, they're just maybe not sure. So I would say, you have that trusted source, take what they say. And even if it doesn't immediately make you happy or get instant, gratification from it, sit with it for a little bit, right? Just reflect like, could that be true or could it not? Ultimately, I always say with our interpersonal relationships, perception is reality, unfortunately. So, how they're perceiving you becomes their reality. So, I mean, like I said, just being, I don't like the term devil's advocate, but alternative viewpoint, I don't know.
Yes. I mean, it's an exercise or one tool you could use if it's
Yeah.
if it's something that you felt comfortable with. But I think ultimately the reason why having a community and a support system or even like a mentor is just so valuable is because you can't see what's inside the jar, like, and getting somebody from the outside to say, no, look how great or look how far you've come, or look at all these amazing things you've done or you do, or, that
Hmm.
can really be like encouraging and like helpful to be like, oh yeah, I did do all that. Like, I'm awesome.
Definitely.
When we often live in the opposite, right? Like, oh,
Hmm.
I'm never doing enough. I'm,
Hmm.
falling short. And so, yeah, that's kind of the whole where I'm trying to
Yeah.
get to with it. The exercise.
You did, you did. Yes, and I wholeheartedly believe the majority of people would experience those results, right? And probably everyone. There's just going to be, those 10%, that those few one-off people that are going to, say something. And so, I'm just like, hey, just brace yourself. But
Yeah.
something I think also helps too in terms of, reflection is journaling. Is that something that you recommend for people to do so that they can
Oh.
kind of look back and reflect?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Journaling has been invaluable to me, and I think it's a great way to get all the things that are swirling around in your head out of your head, and onto the paper, and then you can make a little bit more sense of it. And yeah, you can go back to it later and be like, oh my gosh, I was there. Like, I'm not there anymore, thinking, or whatnot, and be like, oh, things have like evolved and I've grown and I've changed, and I can see, how the gratitude piece, right? Like being
Yeah,
grateful for your journey.
absolutely. Okay, so, kind of switching gears here, we're still talking about confidence. We're still helping women worldwide, right? And so those women kind of going back to the ones that are on the cusp or they got idea in the back of their minds, they want to switch careers, right? I'm thinking even just from my own perspective, right? I'm a work from home mom. I have little babies. And so when I think about, okay, my career, and I even in my mind, I even was like, you know what? I'm gonna build my business at night and I'm gonna go back to work. Yeah, okay. Anyone who does that, if that's for you, that's totally fine. It took me a few weeks to realize, no, I'm not doing that right now. But it's still a conversation that I was having like in my head and actually in real life with some other people. But for those who, are still, like I said, considering making changes or whatever, but they're looking at the economy, they're looking at people.
Mm.
I've just heard a lot of different statistics. Again, I'm not necessarily an economist, right? But I just know there's this sentiment that the job market is crazy right now. And so for someone who's maybe considering switching careers, they've got some anxiety, they want to change their situation, they want to change their life, but there's just a lot happening, right? How can you kind of still put yourself out there, but manage the stress of potential interviewing or just all the things that come with making a big change like that? I know it's a lot that I just said, but whatever you whatever you can attack from that, right? It's a lot of different question marks. Take whatever out of it
Yeah.
that you can, but I think that that's something that's in the back of some of the ladies' minds. Like, does she know what is going on out here?
Yes, yes. It's interesting because in my latest podcast that I released, actually no, it was last week, but whatever. My guest was talking about how when she went into real estate, it was when the real estate market went with the economy. And she was like, people thought I was crazy. And yet I didn't let that dictate what I knew I was capable of accomplishing. And I thought, whoa, like not a lot of people can say, oh, I'm not going to let the economy or the job market like determine the decisions that I'm making for me because I know how capable I am and how hardworking I am and what I bring to the table. And so I think it really comes back to like, there's so much noise in our world today that oftentimes really affects us. And we have to be really self-aware of the things that are going to um, bring in like the negative energy and the negative vibes and remove those things from our world, even if it's just for a little while, so that
Mm-hmm.
we can really get back to the essence of who we are and what we know about ourselves and find the things that give us the energy and the vibrance and the excitement to live our lives to the fullest, right?
Mm,
And so we can swim in all of the uh, information that's out there that's making us feel bogged down and like, oh, it's not even possible. Or
mm-hmm,
we can choose to put that aside and open our mind to the possibilities because we're here on this earth to live a life full of joy. And if we're not finding that joy where we are, we deserve to find it somewhere else and to do whatever it takes in order to make that a reality for us. And it doesn't have to be a in one fell swoop. It can be one step at a time, one little change at a time, but you are worth more than being miserable in a job that you're going to spend most of your life in anyway. Like you're worth it. And so let's start betting on ourselves and like living in a world of, God wants me to be happy, he wants me to be successful, and he's going to make a way.
mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, yes, all the things. Ooh, she's speaking to me, y'all. No, us, right? The shared female experience. We can all relate to at least a little, if not all, of what you just said, and it's so important. I love that. Your input is definitely going to influence, if not create your output. And what you're taking in matters. I think you know should you kind of be somewhat aware of what's happening in the world? Sure. Don't live under a rock necessarily, but I love what you said about not letting that dictate what it is you do for yourself in the story you shared about the woman and your guest on your show, the real estate agent or professional, because she could be a realtor. I don't know. But as women, a lot of times we are so good at boosting up everyone else or making sure someone else is covered. And then we kind of leave these gaps, for ourselves or, give ourselves a harder time than we would others. There's less grace. There's just so much more that we need to work through in order to kind of see, like you said, within the dark, because we need a mirror or some kind of external reflection to be able to see those things. So that's awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Kind of distilling that down, right? If you were to kind of say some practical steps, right? Like, okay, ooh, I heard all the things. I'm feeling good, right? This is a moment I'm uplifted. I'm encouraged.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now what?
What am I about to go do, Brittany?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I think what you're about to go do is some soul searching and some, journaling and some me time because and that's where it's going to all stem from anyway. If you want more practical, like, okay, tangible, I'm going to go out there and job search. Um, I think networking is huge. And so start talking to people and sharing your goal of like what kind of career you're looking for and figure out who do I know that maybe I don't even know what they do, but I know they're in this like field and I want to learn more about that? And
Mhm.
so I think really just building this supportive community and reaching out to people that are a few steps ahead of you in what you want to do and learning more about that role and making connections within the industry is just so vital. Um, Aside from because your resume, like the written word, is only going to get you so far. It's those relationships that are going to move the needle for you.
hmm That's huge. And it's not talked about enough. There is so many different sentiments about like a degree is just a piece of paper or it's everything or whatever. And to me, it's like a combination of both, right? You got education, you got experience, put them together. What are they packaged with? Is there some charisma there? Is there some personality there? Like, could I hold a conversation with you? Do I even want to work with you?
Yes,
Are you personable?
exactly.
And so having some mentors, like you said, someone who's a step ahead of you could also girl, could offer some great insight as to what you need to do to get to where they are or even beyond, right? So
Yeah.
I love that you mentioned the community element and the mentorship aspect, you know, because it's going to shed a lot of light. And having that input, correct me if I'm wrong, is going to build your confidence navigating that career change, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the more that you understand where you're going, right? And you're getting feedback from someone that maybe is in that profession that's gonna say, yeah, you've got this and this and that, it's gonna help you build that confidence, like, okay, yeah, I could do that. Like, I got
Mm.
this. Like, rather than reading like a job description and being like, well, I don't have that degree, like, and
Right,
then talking yourself out of it, right?
right,
It's
right.
like boosting that. No, look, I got this, and this person's in the industry, and they're telling me how capable I am, and yeah, I could do this.
Yeah, cool. One thing we haven't really touched on yet, and we're nearing the end of our time. I just want to sneak this in real fast. If you could touch on, and this is totally candid, not scripted. She doesn't, y'all don't know, but no one knows what I'm about to say. But if you can really, really quickly touch on what I like to refer to as bounce back ability, right? So inevitably we're going to be feeling great, riding high, we're submitting our resumes, we're reaching out to mentors, and something's going to happen. There's going to be some fallout, there's going to be a setback, there's going to be,
Yes.
they're going to hit their face on a brick wall, right? How to recover in the midst, of those challenges, in the midst of navigating this career change. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah. My initial thought is when that moment hits where maybe you've been rejected from a job that you interviewed for 5 times and you really thought you were going to get it, or whatever it is, take that time to grieve
Mm.
and to live in the stink of it for
Mm-hmm.
uh, for a minute. But you need to make a choice ahead of time that that's not going to stick around forever.
Mm.
That's not going to stop you forever. So take the day, take the week, but don't let it take any longer than this many days of your life, because this is not your defining moment. It's when you get back up. That's your defining moment. So the people that succeed in life are the people that kept going even when they were knocked down over and over and over again. And so it has to be a conscious choice that you're making. And yes, you are allowed to feel lousy. And yes, we're going to go through those hard things, but it's you knew that you wanted more for your life and for yourself. So make the decision now that when that happens, you're going to get back up again and you're going to start, bringing back in those tools that have helped you get up to that high vibe energy and feeling good about yourself.
Perfect. Oh, yes, I love it. That's amazing. And that's what we all need to be reminded of, myself included. I got big goals, big dreams. They go a little left and I'm like, but what happened? God, you said, be like, okay, we're yes, moving forward.
Yes.
Let's keep it going. Okay, awesome. True to form, the time has gone by way too fast. Brittany, I have so enjoyed having you on the show. I snuck in that last little element there, but I do not want to take away from the chance to give you the opportunity to drop us the final word. What do you want to leave us with today?
Yeah, it's kind of like, oh, we talked about a lot of good stuff. I would just like to reiterate that, like, in this process, it's really relationships that are key, whether it's a mentor, whether it's a supportive network, like community that you have around you, or whether it's the networking piece as you're reaching out to jobs. People, like, you're not doing this alone. You need people to help you, to guide you, to lift you when the going gets tough, and to be cheerleaders for you. So don't try and do it all by yourself. Make sure that you are reaching out to others in this career change process, because people
Yeah.
love you and want to help you and want to see you succeed and happy as much as you want that for yourself.
Absolutely. Wow. Yes. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Brittany. Thank you. Thank you. Y'all, I have been truly blessed and touched by this conversation, and I know that you have too. So check it out. Speaking of reaching out, okay, you can learn more about Brittany at BrittanyCates.com and her Instagram at Shift Your Day Job. Y'all, she has a podcast. Okay, so just toggle on over from where you're at right now, however you're listening to this podcast, and go follow her on hers. Shift Your Day Job. Okay, it's available on all streaming platforms. So again, wherever you're catching Crown Level Confidence, you can switch after the episode. You can switch on over. Go follow her. Go subscribe. Whatever the platform wants you to do it. 5 stars all around. Okay. Make sure you are connected. We love to show love here in the Crown Level Confidence community. Brittany, again, I cannot thank you enough for sharing your expertise, your heart, and just sewing into the lives of women worldwide to lower their stress and raise their levels of confidence. Again, y'all, BrittanyCates.com. Shift Your Day Job podcast, Shift Your Day Job Instagram. Okay. I cannot wait to see how many more lives you're going to touch and how many careers and families will be boosted and blessed by your work and your obedience. So y'all, that's a wrap for this episode. Stay tuned for some announcements. I love you. And more importantly, I'm so grateful that you love me too. All right. Bye, y'all. We're signing out. Thank you for tuning into another empowering episode of Crown Level Confidence with Caliah Jinaye. I hope you enjoyed today's conversation and found it both insightful and inspiring. If you'd like to be a featured guest on the show and share your journey of confidence and self-belief, please reach out to me at podcast@caliahjinaye.com. I'm always eager to connect with remarkable individuals who have a story to tell. And for those interested in connecting with me for speaking engagements or mindset coaching, you can find more information on my website, caliahjinaye.com. I'd love to hear from you and explore how we can work together to inspire and empower others. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast on your favorite platform so you never miss an episode filled with actionable tips and heartfelt stories. If you enjoyed today's episode, I'd truly appreciate it if you could leave a review on your preferred podcast platform. Your feedback helps us reach more listeners and inspire even more people to straighten their crowns. Remember, your journey to unstoppable confidence is a continuous adventure. I'm happy to support you every step of the way. Keep believing in yourself, keep shining, and always wear your crown with pride. Until next time, this is Caliah Jinaye, your host, signing off. Stay confident, stay empowered, and keep leveling up.